Today on the show, we're going to be talking about Carrie Kelley, another Robin. If you didn't know that she first appears in what's considered one of DC Comics' greatest stories, then this show is for you. So, Carrie Kelley. She would first appear in The Dark Knight Returns in 1986, making her the first full-time female Robin. However, the Dark Knight stories are non-canon, making Stephanie Brown the first official full-time female Robin. Keep in mind that the majority of things I'm talking about in this video are pretty much non-canon, which doesn't stop them from being great stories, but they are just non-canon. So Carrie was 13 when her adventures with Batman would first start. He would actually save her on his first night back from retirement when she was attacked by a mutant gang. Now, Carrie idolized Batman. He was her #1 hero. So she went out and got herself a Robin costume and started taking down con men in the hopes that it would get Batman's attention. And then a lot of you are probably thinking, well, what did her parents have to say about this? How didn't her parents notice all her superhero shenanigan activities? Well, they kind of forgot they had a daughter. Her parents used to be hippie activists. They knew what they stood for and they knew their rights. However, over the years, that activism turned to drugs and they eventually just became totally apathetic stoners. So what you need to keep in mind is that in the Dark Knight comics, the government put a ban on superhero activities. I'll probably make a video on the Dark Knight comics one day in the style of my Flex Mentallo or Death videos because it really is that kind of series. So anyway, in this continuity, after Jason Todd died, Batman quit being Batman for a very long time. But then when he started back up again, obviously he saved Carrie. Carrie would finally get Batman's attention when Batman was about to be killed by a mutant gang leader, and Carrie would swoop in and save him. Commissioner Erin Yindel really did not like Batman, and then Erin saw that Batman was now working with a child, so a warrant for Batman's arrest was put out. Then eventually the Joker would turn up and he would poison children at a fairground and put a bomb on a roller coaster, and it would actually be Carrie that tracks the Joker down. Batman and Carrie went into different directions to do two different jobs. Batman went after the Joker and Carrie went after the bomb, but this caused Carrie to have to fight Fat Abner, who was working with the Joker. The two of them would fight on the roller coaster tracks, but Abner would actually get decapitated by the roller coaster track, and this would cause Carrie to break down crying. But what happens next proves how strong of a character that Carrie is. You see, if any other 13-year-old saw someone get decapitated, they wouldn't be able to pick themselves back up. But Carrie does, and she goes to save Batman, who needs her help. Batman was badly beaten, and the police were taking him in. So Carrie would swoop in and take Batman away and take him back to Alfred, who would heal him up. But this would result in the government sending out Superman to deal with Batman. To delay him, Carrie actually used this tank Batmobile kind of thing, and it was really cool, but it wasn't exactly effective on him, which was a really big shame, and I really want to see that tank Batmobile thing in the main continuity. Batman, being Batman, would actually create himself some kryptonite to defend himself against Superman, which was very effective, but Batman would then die. Now keep in mind that Superman isn't exactly evil in this continuity, he's just kind of doing what he has to do. It's something we're going to get into in my Dark Knight videos, which are coming out very, very soon. However, if you want to read the Dark Knight comics before then, I've put a link to mycomicshop.com down below. Later on, at Batman's funeral, a relative of Bruce Wayne's would turn up and would begin to take away the coffin. Superman, who was in attendance at the funeral, would actually hear a heartbeat from inside of the coffin and look at the relative and would see that it was Carrie Kelley. He would then wink at Carrie and fly away. After this, Batman, Carrie, and Green Arrow would all go underground to train teenage gangs into becoming the Sons of Batman to deal with enemies worse than thieves and murderers. Skipping forward 3 years, Carrie is no longer Robin, she's actually Catgirl, but she's still Batman's sidekick. Carrie was actually really well trained in martial arts and acrobatics by this point. She could have been a hero in her own right, but she had a much bigger job. She had to lead the Bat Boys against the police dictatorship state. Using these boys, Carrie is actually able to free the Atom and the Flash. However, one of the boys went too far and actually murdered some of the police officers, so he needed to be punished. To punish this boy, Carrie brutally beat him up and then told the other Bat Boys to treat his wounds but to not use anesthetic. After this, she escaped to be on her own and broke down crying because obviously that boy had to be punished, but it was hard for her to do. This is what I love about Carrie. She really is the true daughter of Batman in a spiritual sense. She's got his temperament and his emotions down to a T, more so than any of the other Robins, including Damian. Eventually, Carrie would come into confrontation with a man she just couldn't defeat. She resorted to thermite and acid. Nothing would defeat this man. He was unstoppable. And it turned out to be a homicidal Dick Grayson. Dick over the years had actually become bitter because in this continuity, Batman fired Dick. He got rid of him. And then he sees Carrie and Batman having this true father-daughter relationship going on, which is something he never got to have with Batman, or something he wishes he could have had. In this fight, Dick would actually overpower Carrie and begin to kill her by breaking her bone by bone. But fortunately, Batman would turn up and save her and have Ralph Dibny take her to safety. Then, after this, nothing. The Dark Knight comics end very soon after that, which is a really big shame, but they do have a very satisfying ending, and I really do encourage all of you to go and get them. So Carrie does actually appear in the New 52. She would first appear in Batman and Robin number 19, and she's much older in this continuity. She's in college, and she had a little friendship going on with Damian, which was kind of cute. I don't know, I just really like this character. I think she's a lot of fun, and she has a lot of potential. I really want to see more from her, and I really want to see her be utilized to her full potential. And now would be a better time than ever to bring her back because of Batman Eternal. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. If you think I missed anything majorly important about Carrie Kelley, please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history. And also don't forget to support the show by checking out my Patreon, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to my gaming channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.